Welcome back, my bold friends. In part one, we talked about what happens inside of you when you second guess your decisions. Today is where it gets tougher because you can be completely clear and still lose your decision the second someone else enters the room. Let's ground this in a real woman's story. She's been feeling it for a while. She's good at her job, reliable, the one people trust. But lately, everything feels heavier. Longer days, bigger load, more responsibility, less energy. She keeps telling herself it's just a busy season, but it's not. She knows that. And privately, she's already admitted it. I can't keep doing this like this. Something has to change. So she starts thinking about it seriously. Maybe she needs to step back. Maybe she needs to stop taking on so much. Maybe she needs to leave. And then she says it out loud. And that's when everything shifts. Well, we really need you right now. You've always handled a lot. Oh, this is just a busy stretch. But you're so good at your job. You're doing so well. And just like that, she's told the wrong people. She starts to pull back, not because she was unclear, but because she couldn't hold her decision under outside pressure. That's what we're talking about today. Let's dive in.
Welcome to the Bold Life School, the show that empowers you to elevate your life and to step into your full potential. I'm your host, Jameson, and this is where ambition meets authenticity, where you'll find the tools and inspiration to grow, evolve, and thrive. Each week, we dive into powerful topics that challenge the status quo, whether it's to break through limiting beliefs, navigate life's transitions, or embrace the bold moves that push you beyond your comfort zone. Now let's get into today's episode.
Let's start with what's actually happening. She didn't suddenly become unsure. She already knew something wasn't working. What changed was what happened when someone else responded to it. She says, I've been feeling pretty stretched lately. And the moment it's minimized, she shifts. Yeah, it's just been busy. I can handle it. She didn't lose clarity. She lost her position. Holding a decision alone feels very different than holding it in front of someone else. So the real question isn't, was she wrong on her decision? It's, did the decision change or did her ability to stand in it change? Why are we so easily bulldozed in the face of others' opinions about us? When people ask us questions, we're immediately put in a one-down position. Instead of focusing on our plan or our needs, we find ourselves answering to someone else or managing their thoughts and feelings when we didn't even necessarily ask for that type of feedback. The people around her aren't trying to stop her. They're probably well-intentioned. They're just trying to stabilize what feels uncertain to them. They need her. They rely on her. Her change creates disruption in their lives. Their sense of stability, their position in the world, what will happen to them? So their responses sound reasonable, but underneath it's just about fear. And now she starts absorbing that fear. Maybe it's not that bad. Maybe she should wait. Maybe now isn't the time. And slowly she shifts from what she knows to what feels acceptable to everyone else. This is how decisions get diluted. Not because they were wrong, but because they got filtered through someone else's comfort. And at some point, she has to ask, am I making this decision based on what I know, what I want, or based on what feels easier for everyone else? Now, sure, when you're making a decision to change something big in your life, your job, finances, place of living, it may certainly affect a few people that you really do need buy-in from. For example, if you're married, you probably should discuss big plans with your partner, if you want to keep them anyway. But what I find is that women are asking the wrong people at this critical time between making a decision and taking steps to begin action. They're asking people who don't have their best interest in mind, but instead who are caught up in their own best interest. The parent who's never moved away from her home, the unambitious fraidy cat friend, your workmate who needs you there to be able to stand it himself. Do not share with these people until you can stand on your own solid footing with confidence. The reality is that many people are not capable of the same things you are. They have lower ceilings for their own lives. So don't expect them to raise the ceiling for your decision that seems risky to them. But if you can't share with the people around you, who can you share with? Other like minded individuals who are positive, ambitious, dare to dream, not completely risk averse, and who have your needs and desires in mind, who can be objective and not make it all about themselves. A coach is always great for objective feedback. A trusted peer who can listen, who isn't a fearful type, but who can also be objective. Objectivity is the key. Until then, keep your decisions to yourself. And this is where the unsure woman collapses, because now it's not just opinions, it's emotional pressure. Her manager or her partner says, I just thought I could count on you, or we need you until it's not a great time for this change. And she feels those things immediately. That pull to fix it, to step back in, to not let anyone down. So she says, okay, well, actually, I'll make it work. And just like that, the decision disappears. Or it's on the back burner while she fulfills the needs she sees around her. Not because the decision wasn't right, but because it was uncomfortable to hold. This is the moment. She's not changing the decision. She's relieving discomfort. The discomfort of caring for others, the discomfort of setting new boundaries and living into the consequences of her actions. And if she doesn't see that clearly, she'll keep doing it, putting herself last. The harsh reality is that when you make a change to your life, your career, your health, or ways of interacting with others, it upsets the lives of those around you. To lean into a decision in the face of these dependencies, you have to consider how it affects others, but you should still be at the top of the list. Instead of thinking about how your decision affects others, what is the toll in not making the decision going to take on your own life? If you stay in the job that's sucking the life out of you, what will your life and outlook be like in 1 year? Is it worth it? Many women are so used to sucking it up and doing all of the things to care for, assist, and ease the experience of those around them that they put their own needs last. But that's not sustainable. At some point, you will hear the call for change louder and louder. First, it whispers, then it repeats itself in a negative loop, usually about how unhappy you are. Then you experience real burnout, and it may even become physical. Your body is rejecting the life that you have to keep showing up to, or you think you have to keep showing up to. In order to prioritize your needs, you have to prioritize your mental, emotional, physical comfort. When you do so, others will adjust around you, to you. There's another layer happening. This woman wants a change, and she's not just reacting to what's being said. She's reacting to how she's being seen. She's always been reliable, flexible, the one who makes things work. But now she's coming across as different. She's pushing back, questioning things, saying no, and people do notice. There's a shift. The new version of her is being seen, and people are starting to question. When did she get so bold? And her instinct then is to pull back, to smooth it out, to return to who she was. It's easier. It's less scary. It feels like less risk. It also feels less cringy, being so vulnerable, even feeling embarrassed to be seen learning or doing a new skill in front of an audience who doesn't know you that way. They may not accept the new you. They may not take you seriously at first, but who cares? If this woman keeps choosing familiarity over growth, she'll abandon her decisions every time. So the real question becomes, is she holding the decision or holding on to who she used to be? So often with ambitious women who are successful in the professional world, our identities become very defined by our jobs. And it can be very hard to break away from the self that we've shaped constructed and molded over many years. But when a new identity emerges, we must make room for her or we risk abandoning ourselves. We're meant to grow and evolve, and sometimes we meet the end of the road that we're on. Are we to sit down and call it a day? To become plateaued where we are? To let our minds atrophy so that others can stay comfortable? No, my bold friends. It sounds like the perfect opportunity to put your comfort and needs first, to empower yourself, to work on your thoughts that are holding you back, to live into your evolving identity first, probably for the first time in a long time. Sometimes we get in our own heads so much when we start to anticipate how others will react to our decisions. We're so afraid of what others will say because we need external validation. We thrive, but only if others agree, show enthusiasm, or approve. We decide, but only if others approve in a way that makes us feel safe enough to move. So we look for signs to pre-interpret whether we have this validation of others. And a lot of it happens in our head. The woman tries on her new self, starts speaking more directly, she stops over-explaining, and the response? Silence, pauses, not much feedback, a different kind of energy in the room, and her brain immediately freaks out and says, oh, that didn't land. That was too much. He didn't seem happy. They didn't give me any praise. It must not have been a good idea. Her thoughts go crazy with worry, fear, self-doubt because she's not getting that external validation. So she starts adjusting again, moving back closer to her old behavior where it feels safe, where she doesn't have to think about the thoughts of other people at all. But what if nothing is wrong? What if people are just adjusting to a version of her they're not used to yet? Adjusting takes time. Silence doesn't mean failure. Discomfort isn't necessarily misalignment. But if she treats it that way, she will override herself every time. And this is all in her thoughts. So when you tie your decisions to what others think of you or how you think others think of you, your decisions will always come in second place. When you can release your concerns about what others think of you, you'll be able to hold your decisions with confidence. But you need the confidence. Moving away from the need for external validation isn't something that typically changes overnight because it requires you to do the work, to change your internal thought patterns, disrupt your typical ways of thinking, being, responding to others. And that grows your self-confidence. And this is the work we do at The Bold Life. In the moment after, she goes home, replays everything, what she said, how they reacted, how she perceived how they reacted, and slowly she starts rewriting the decision. Well, maybe it was too much. Maybe I should rethink it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I should just stay with things. Maybe I need more time. Now she's about to undo her decision, not because anything changed, but because she feels alone in it. And without support, the pressure wins. So what would it look like if she had support, if she handled this differently? First, she would define the decision clearly. She has to know before she involves other people. I can't keep operating like this. I need to change something. I need to define what that is. Second, she would expect objections, expect outside pressure, not as a warning, but as a part of the process. She would have her reasons for change at the forefront of her mind. She doesn't need to negotiate with other people. She's happy to hear them out and stop it there. Third, she'd recognize her pattern of letting others dictate her life and put up some boundaries and guardrails. She doesn't fall apart at the decision. She falls apart when someone reacts. And that's what needs to change. Fourth, she'd pause before adjusting. Make some minor adjustments in her plan to move forward with her decision into action. That moment, right before she softens or backtracks, is where her power is. And finally, she wouldn't process it alone. She would reinforce and protect the decision by sharing it with someone objective and empowering. Because this pattern is hard to break in isolation. It breaks when we stay in the decision while the pressure is happening. We don't backtrack on important decisions because we're unclear. We hold back in fear, either of what is going on inside or when we think that we are beholden to the wants, needs, and expectations of others. Every time she leaves her decision mid-moment, she teaches herself she can't trust her own clarity. And how can you build self-confidence in that situation? What important decision are you making right now? What decision are you waffling on because you feel alone in it, confused, or don't want to disappoint others? Is it because of something happening internally, or that you can't hold the decision in the face of those around you? If you're in that moment right now, don't go back in your head. This is where most people lose momentum. If you need support while you're in it, that is exactly what the Red Chair Sessions is about. It's real-time guidance when it actually matters. My new offer is exactly the type of objective, real-time advisement and support that you can benefit from if you're moving into or beyond a decision to make a change. It's not traditional coaching where we meet weekly. Instead, it's unlimited asynchronous messaging support. You message me, then I message you back at any time. When you need feedback, guidance, or support as you move through your decision into strategy and action, you reach out to me. I return your messages for that objective feedback, which gives you more confidence, more clarity in the face of obstacles, confusion, or disagreement by an outside factor. This call-free coaching is Red Chair Sessions, and the link is in the show notes. Check it out. Your next level isn't about making better decisions. It's about being able to hold them. And that's where the work comes into play. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next week.
If you enjoyed today's episode, head over to theboldlife.coach for more resources, join our community, and start living your boldest life today.